Well, good morning. Good morning. Welcome, one and all, to the Easter edition, I guess we can call it, of Brekkie with the Guy Who Sews. I have brought on my very, very special guest, none other than Martha from Martha's Creative Life. It's good to have her back with us. A lot of you know her already, but if you don't, I'm just going to have her take just a few moments to introduce herself, tell us what she does, and all that good stuff. So over to you, Martha.
Well, good morning, everyone. I am here. Hi.
It's
It's
good to
so good
see
to
you.
see you. Good to see you too, Sean, and everyone. I'm so glad that I got to come on this morning. Sean asked me, he says, "Hey, what you doing Saturday morning before Easter?" And I'm like, "I don't think I'm doing anything." So I didn't have to work this morning. So just wanted to say hello. Um, it's good to see everyone. It's been a while. So
Yes, and it's really good to have you back. And I think we're going to have a good time this morning. It's good to see each and every one of you here. If you're watching the replay, I'd love it if you say hi in the comments and just let us know that you tuned in, that you hopefully enjoyed it. If you didn't, that's okay too. We're not everybody's cup of tea. But if you did, yeah, just say hi in the comments and that sort of thing there. Let's see who's in the chat real quick, and then we'll talk about what we're working on and all that good stuff there.
that sounds good.
All right, so it looks like Fabric Magician Annette is here with us. She's our first viewer, and I think she was the first viewer last week as well. She's always up bright and early as well. Stephen Bland from Bland Designs and the Idiot Quilts is here with us as well. It's good to see him. I think he's due to have one of his, what are those things called? Retreats soon. Or
Oh,
maybe I missed it.
fun.
I can't remember. Yeah, he does a free retreat twice a year. It's
Wow.
yeah, it's just his gift to his viewers. He does it free of charge. It's all on Zoom. It's a lot of fun. I've been on there a few times. It always seems to be days where we're out and about with the girls, so I don't get to make it. But I presented at one a couple of years ago, and he gave me this. He made me this really nice gift. It's like, I think he made it with his 3D printer. It's like a big thimble, and it's like my scrap bucket, like for that sort of thing
I
there. So
love that.
I know it's really cool. It's like it's almost like it's color changes. Like if you look at it here, it's like in one light it's blue, and then if you turn it around, it turns purple. I think you can. There you go. See,
Well,
it's
I saw
blue.
it as purple, and I'm like, it's purple, and then you moved it away, and it was blue.
It's blue. Yeah, I don't know how he managed to do that, but that's just It's he made quite a few little things for me as a thank you gift for presenting, and that's like one of my favorites, and it's one that I use in my sewing room all the time there. Anyway, we should keep moving, otherwise it'll be the end of the live, and all we've done is talk about Stephen's wonderful gift to me, which is fine.
Hey, it's a wonderful gift.
Oh, it is. As I said, it's been very, very practical, and I'm very thankful for it. Polly is here with us as well. Good morning. Good morning to Christina. Says good morning and happy Easter, everyone. Good morning to Andrea from Mama J Enterprises. Howdy, everyone. Glad to see you. Let me know if the closed captions are working for you there, please, Andrea, if you would for me. Nikki B is here with us. Good morning. Made by Misty is here. Good morning to Miss Nancy. I figured she'd be tuning in because she's a huge fan of yours, Martha, as we were talking about a little bit earlier. Good morning to Miss Kim. And Lindsay is here. Stephanie Fulton. Carol. I knew I was missing people. I don't know how that happens every time. But yes, everyone's saying hi to everybody. So let's move on and talk about what are we going to work on today. So since you're the guest, and ladies first, what did you bring to work on today?
Well, we're gonna have fun because we're a hoot and holler.
Yes,
That's
we're,
one of the
we're, we're
phrases
going
I
to have a
use
good
at
chin
work.
wag and catch up.
We are fun. So on, I think Tuesday is when I got it. Let me close it back up so you can see it. I got the last 10, the last box for the Floral States of America. And I love how they put all their boxes together. It's amazing. It says, "Come sew with us, and we will sew you the world." And they, of course, always put goodies in here. So I have the last 10 states. It's been a really, really fun project. So there's 2 packages. There's one there. There's one here. And then they gave me the finishing kit also, and it's just in this beautiful blue.
Mm.
That's my mom's favorite color, is this blue right here. So it's beautiful. And then of course 2 cotton cuts pins. Who doesn't love the cotton cuts pins?
Oh, those things are amazing. I don't know.
They
Yeah, I
are.
don't know. I think they come from like the like wherever they make the pens for God. I think the cotton cuts pens comes from the same factory, because those things are amazing. If you haven't got the cotton cuts pen, you don't understand. These
Yes.
things are amazing. It's all I use here in the house. I keep forgetting to take it to the office, but I would use them there as well. They just seem to last forever. They write really well. As I said, they're a promotional item that they use, but they are absolutely fantastic. If you know, you know. We'll just put it that there as well.
I have some at the house. I have them in my purse. I have them at work. So I totally understand.
Yeah, they are really, I could probably sell them by the dozen, and they have quite a few faithful folks, including myself, running up there and buying. Well, I don't know how many dozen I'd need because those things last forever too. Let's see. Leanna says, "Hi, Martha. I bought Floral States because of you. It's been so much fun." Well, that's really nice to know. That's really fun. Yeah. I didn't buy the Floral States because and I've talked about this a million times. I am not a floral pattern, fabric type of guy. It's not my go-to, but it's been fun watching it. And I think, what is it? 2 different outlays is like the.
Yep.
Which one are you doing? Okay. Stay tuned for more details. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's fun.
I'm going to put my Martha's Creative Life spin on it.
Hey, that sounds good. I've got no problem with that. Okay, so what I had planned to do and what I'm actually going to do today is 2 different things. When I talked to Martha earlier I think I messaged you earlier this week. Actually, I think she sent me the photo automatically. She sent me a wonderful photo of herself with her dog. And I thought that was really cute. And so I made a background for it with dogs. And I thought, you know what? This would be really fun to start off this project, which is Dog Park by Elizabeth Hartman.
There's a pug on there. Aww.
I know it has all the neat breeds. Like it's got a beagle there for Copper. There's a little dachshund there for Finley. The corgis on there as well, which is something my dad used to love and breed and that sort of thing there as well back in the day. So it's got all the cool dogs on there. This is actually going to be a retirement quilt from one of my co-workers. I bought the quilt kit. This has been on my bucket list to do for a while, and I had actually found a really neat quilt kit for it at the quilt show a month or 2 ago. Hang on, let me just grab it here real quick. Because normally I buy quilt kits, I usually do it myself, but the quilt kit was with the pattern, I think was $89.99, and I figured by the time I went and bought the fabric I needed and the pattern, it was going to be more than that. So, I just went ahead and bought the pattern. And, I just figured, make my life easier. So, Cocker Spaniel. I don't know if there's a Cocker Spaniel in there or not. Let's see. Looks like a Chihuahua, a Beagle, a big brown dog. I forget which one that is. Another big brown dog. Corgi. Looks like a poodle or one of them labradoodle thingies. A bulldog, pug, border collie. I mean, you could probably modify it to look like your dogs and that sort of thing.
Is there one that looks like Gracie in there? Gracie's our puppy. She is a little over a year old now, and we're in the
probably change one of these ones or something.
She's a lab and a pit, and she's a super mutt, but she's also not. She's an Australian Shepherd too, because she's got one blue eye and one brown eye.
Yeah, she's a cute dog, and she's the one that you see on the thumbnail as well. Yes. So if you're not familiar with Miss Gracie, you can go take a look at that and figure it out there as well. Okay, so I plan on cutting fabric out and starting on that because it's something I'm really excited about starting. However, we took our 2 exchange students yesterday to not a local theme park. It's an hour and a half up the road. And I thought I'd be home in time to cut fabric, but I didn't get home till 10 o'clock. And then I looked at the cutting instructions and I'm like, yeah, that ain't happening tonight. So,
I'll do that later.
Because I came up with this brilliant idea yesterday. If I'd come up with it Monday or Tuesday, I would have had time to cut it. But no, I wasn't that smart. So I figured we'll go back to our wonderful Cotton Cuts gnome.
You can't go wrong with a Cotton Cuts gnome.
No, these are great for lives because it's all pre-cut. All you have to do, it's kind of like your Floral States. All you have to do is unpack and sew. So we'll start with this. I have done row 4. But it's wrong. So we're going to pull out my very, very bestest friend and do some seam ripping before we go.
What's a live without Jack?
Hey, I try to avoid using Jack during the live, but it's like, today's just going to happen, and that's just the way it is. So there you go. All right. So Lindsay says that she loves Cotton Cuts kits. I'm doing Freebird for the newest Puzzle Mystery Quilt, which is the what's it called? Tula Pink one, I think, which is the one that Ian's doing. And talking about Puzzle Mystery Quilts, the reveal for Wild West is Friday. The final design is absolutely stunning. I just finished Peace in Mind Thursday night because I'm an ambassador, so I get early access and I have to piece mine so I can reveal it. So if you sitting there wondering why you haven't seen that last clue yet, it hasn't released. That's next Friday. But tune in at 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central next Friday over at the Cotton Cut site. You'll see me and some of the other ambassadors do the big reveal. It looks absolutely stunning. I love it in the tombstone colorway. It really looks Wild Westy. It's really, really neat. It's different to what you've seen before, which is kind of what they said was going to happen with this one here. I mean, they're always all different, but this one's like different, but in a really, really good way. That's all I'm going to tell you because I'm not going to give away any more secrets. But yeah, it looks stunning, and you're going to have to come over and check it out there as well. So Lindsay says she has to miss the reveal this year, as she has to work that day. Well, I had the replay, so you can always go and watch a replay. And I plan on releasing a reveal video of my own later in the day as well, so you'll be able to catch that. Okay, let's see. Who else is here? Candace is here. Good morning to you. Good morning to Miss Fallon. It's always good to see you as well. Good morning, Miss Becky. And I think I caught everybody else. Let's see if the not bot, Nightbot, I fired him. The other thing, the other bot's working. We'll soon find out, all right? Okay, Jenny,
Yes,
good morning
we
to
will.
you as well. It should
Hello,
be working.
everyone.
Okay, it is working good. I haven't put everybody's links in yet. I do need to get around to doing that at some point soon. I just need to stop running around like a mad fool. The last couple of weeks have just been absolutely crazy for us because 2 weeks ago we took the kids to DC. Last week we went off to the mountains for the day on Saturday. Today we actually get to stay at home. Like I'm so excited I get a home day. It's just, yeah.
I love relaxing at home after a long work week, and we've been a little short-staffed, and I put all my energy into work because that's your work. That's your other second home most of the time. So by the time I come home, I'm pretty tired, and it's just like I just want to stay at home.
Yeah, no,
and
everybody,
then run in my sewing room.
yeah, that's kind of what I plan on staying here, hopefully getting some stuff done because right now my podcast is going to be about 4 seconds long. It's going to have one finished block. The other finished project is the PMQ, which I can't show anybody till next week. So, yeah, I need to get something done today. Otherwise, we are going to have a very, very short podcast, or it might just say we'll be there. But no, we got a whole day to do some stuff. So we'll have something for you. Don't get too excited there. I don't think I've put Stephen's link in yet, but let me just grab his real quick.
Well, Streamlabs is saying that today's guest is Barry from Barry's Quilt.
I know, I haven't
Hello,
updated. I was just doing that
everyone.
as a test just to see if it worked. Yeah, I'm bad. I wanted to make sure this thing worked first before I spent like 2 or 3 hours copying and pasting all the links and everything else there
No
over
worries.
as well. Yeah, there's methods to my madness, I promise. Okay, let's see. Zaza, good morning. Good morning, Miss Marjorie as well. It's good to see both of you as well. Let me get my seam ripper out and start ripping this stuff out and going from there because, yeah, I goofed up the last time I was on a live, but that's okay. You know, you make mistakes and then you fix them. Okay, so Miss Martha, have you had any fun sewing projects recently? Have you done anything fun? Like, I know you're working on the
I'm working on the floral states. Yep. So I've been working with my eyes tearing up a little bit. I've been working on the floral states, and so that's going to be upcoming really soon. That's all I'm going to tell you right now on that. So excited to see that project coming to an end, to see the finished results. It's like the PMQ, seeing the end result. It's pretty amazing. So I got the 10, like I said, got them on Tuesday, so I'm going to be working on those. I did earlier, well, at the end of last year, my husband, he's like, why don't you try the quilt as you go? He says, I really think you would enjoy doing it because, you know, we don't have a long arm here. If I do,
me either. Don't worry.
yeah, if I do want to have something long arm, I give it to some friends that are local here in the area, and they'll take care of it for us. And that's wonderful. So we'll do that. But he's like, why don't you just try it and see if you like it? So, you know, how you hop on YouTube and find all kind of videos, and there's so many different ways to quilt as you go. I was completely taken back. And so I love the cotton cut snippets. They're actually doing a cotton cut snippet challenge. I don't know too much about it just yet, but I had already made this quilt last year, so I will show you just a few pieces of it because I haven't even made a video on it yet. But what I did is I took the 10-inch squares, and I don't remember if Nancy sent me these squares here that are on the back, or if it came from Stephanie, my bestest sister-in-law, but I used the layer cakes for the backing, and then used the cotton cut snippets. And these
Those
were
are,
all black and white. So the black here was just some jelly roll, a jelly roll that I had, and then all this other is the cotton cut snippets. It was so much fun to make, and it goes with us on the couch, in the chair, wherever that we're at. And then of course Gracie, that girl loves her quilts.
oh, that's how
And
Finley is. Finley loves them too.
yeah, she absolutely loves it. So if she sees it, her whole face just lights up. You can see it in her eyes, like, oh, Mama has out the quilt. So
That's
I was
fun.
working on that, and it's just a perfect size. And I don't remember where I got it from, but I did have a label that I put on it. I think I got it from Back Quarter Shop, and then put the label on the back of it.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I
And
printed.
then
I had a bunch of my like quilt labels printed out. Like I bought a yard of quilt labels basically, and I've misplaced them. I've misplaced them, and I could not find where they disappeared to, which is
well,
really really sad.
oh,
Well,
you'll
I'll work
find
here
them
at
when
some
you
point.
you'll find them when you at least expect it.
Oh, that's what I figured. Like I don't need one right now. I haven't got any finished projects to even mess with. So, you know, hopefully they'll show up before I need them. Otherwise, we'll do. But I've still got a bunch of cotton cuts ones I can, play with. So, we'll work something out.
And then my
All right.
husband's quilt that I had made for him, it was one of the past puzzle mystery quilts from Cotton Cuts. It was more of a patriotic one, and I was able to get the certificate for my husband, and I got it put in a frame. If you have a Hobby Lobby near you, they do have frames back there that will fit the certificate for the Quilts of Valor. And
Oh,
so he was
nice.
super, super excited about that. He got teared up because he said, I don't like surprises. And I'm like, but it's a good surprise, honey. And so I presented the certificate to him, and he's just super happy with it. So we're going to put that quilt kind of close to where the certificate, will hang it up on the wall, and probably have like a little quilt, um, the things that you lay your quilts on, in, like, if you want to, what are
A
those
quilt
things
rack, is that
called,
what you're
y'all?
talking about?
A quilt rack. Thank you. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And so we did that also. So we've been pretty busy, just
Because the quilt of
sewing
valor
when I
you
can.
made for him, right? And that was
Hmm.
the one of the puzzle mystery quilts from
It
a
was.
few times ago, right?
It was. And so that stays on his chair all the time, but now it's on the couch because we're going to put the certificate on the wall behind the couch. And in my quilt guild, we have a local Quilt of Valor representative. So she was really happy
Nice.
to help me out with that.
That's good. Yeah, the quilt of valor people, I've talked to them a couple of times because I have one of my puzzle mystery quilts, the carnival one I did in a series of red, white, and blue batiks. And when I eventually quilt it, that's its intended home. I want to donate it to Quilt of Valor. I don't know a whole lot of veterans, so I figured they can just pick one in need for me.
Hmm.
And yeah, I'd like to go to the ceremony and that sort of thing there because I always enjoy seeing people receive the quilts. It's always such a joy for people to receive them. And I always like seeing people use my quilts too. Like I made a quilt, or it's a temperature quilt, and one of my exchange students, she uses that thing every day. And it's just such a
Oh,
joy to see her using it each and every day. It's just, I don't know, for me, that's just something special. Like it's something that you put your heart and soul into, and then just see it being used. I always tell people when I give them a quilt, please use it. Don't stick it in a cupboard somewhere and think it's too pretty or too
right.
delicate or whatever. Just use it. If you put a hole in it, let me know. I'll find a way to fix it. If you
Exactly.
if you wear it out, tell me. I'll make you another one.
Well, we have a quilt that I had made before we had gotten Gracie, and it was some fabric that I got from Joann's. It was one of those little kits, and it's beautiful. It's all these beautiful flowers, and so that lays on the couch, and she lays on that, and that poor quilt is being loved, and it is being worn. I was looking at it the other day, going, "Gosh, those colors have faded a little bit just because we're washing it. But I was like, it's so soft, and that's what we want. We want our quilts to be used, and um, it's just they're a labor of love, and it's so wonderful when they are used.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've gotten
I
to the point
agree.
now where I just include a piece of paper with washing instructions
Hmm.
and a note saying, please use this thing. That's, and that sort of thing there, so that way people know, hey, yeah, this is how I can use it. This is how I can wash. Because, yeah, us as quilters know, proper care instructions, but, non-quilters probably get a little intimidated, so.
Yeah. Well, I have two past PMQs that I'm going to make, and I'm not referencing this video to my channel, so I know my family won't see it, but my mom and dad, I'm going to be making two quilts for them, and the one that's going to go to my dad is more of, I don't remember which one it was off the top of my head, but it was more of the muted patriotic colors. So I'm going to work on giving that one to my dad because he was in the military as well, and I
Oh,
want to do
nice.
that one as a quilt of valor. And then my mom loves blue. I was showing you the blue earlier for the cotton cuts finishing kit for the floral states. That's her favorite color, blue. So this one's all blue. And so that's two of my projects that I'm working on this year. And I just have been doing a lot of my personal projects and trying to get caught back up with them. And I have some other special projects in the works for family that don't know anything about that yet. We'll just leave it at that. And
Yeah.
excited to get those done because I don't want, if they might see this video, I don't want them to know about
Yeah,
it.
get too much
Too much
information.
detail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to keep some stuff a little, okay, so Sweet Granny is asking, what do I say on washing instructions? That is a good question, and I can go pull up the actual document in a second and tell you, because I wrote it like a year and a half ago, and I've only used it a couple of times, so my memory's not that good. Let's see. That's a really good question, and we're about to find out, aren't we?
And while you're looking for that, this is what the cotton cuts when they sent the little uh, the floral states. It comes in this little package, and you got your cute little sticker on the back. You open it, and the plastic
It's
is
like a little
real.
postcard, right?
It is, and then there's a postcard in it. We're going to do Alaska this morning, and it gives you all the information about the state. But I picked that one this morning because of the northern lights. I thought that was so pretty.
Yeah,
And then you
that's
have your, yeah, and then you have your little instructions, and then you have, here's what this one is for Alaska. Look how pretty that is.
oh, that is pretty.
And then of course this blue and teal makes me think of the northern lights.
And see, I see that, and I think of like the lakes and the oceans and stuff. So it's fun that
Mm-hmm.
we see it different ways.
Yes.
All right, so yeah, for washing instructions, I put on here. Yeah, I just put generally it only needs to be washed when it's dirty or stained. Hand wash or machine wash on delicate, gentle cycle. Air dry flat if possible. Tumble dry on low to remove dampness if needed. Then air dry. I think I just like copied and pasted this from somewhere. And before that, I just put this quilt's been handmade and designed to be used. Nothing makes me happier than knowing it's been loved and used. It should last many years. And then if there are any damages, let me know, and that sort of thing there. So yeah, just a little document I put together, and I just print it out and send it along with the quilt. And that way, people just kind of know what to do. So
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think that's a really great idea. And of course, um, do you use color catchers when you wash the quilt the first time? Do you wash it the first time before you give
no,
it to the recipient?
and that's a good question I want to ask everybody in the chat, or if you're watching later on, is do you wash your quilts before you give them away? I know some folks, and I know Martha, I think, is in this camp. You like the crinkle
Oh yes.
from being washed, and I've never washed a quilt before I've given it away. I kind of like I'm in the opposite camp, whereas I like to be able to give it like the crispness, CRISPNESS, whatever you pronounce that, of the quilt before it gets washed and crinkled. So, I mean,
Yeah.
everyone's different. There's no right or wrong answer. It's like anything else. We all just have our own preferences. So, yeah, I generally don't. Well, I don't think I've ever washed a quilt before giving it away. But yeah, I made that up initially when I gave away the Farm Fresh Fab Farm quilt to a coworker of mine. She was having a little baby, and I figured she, may not know what to do. So I just that was kind of the inspiration behind it. It's just a nice little document that I have, and that way, if I like my family and friends, most of my family and friends now that I give quilts to, they know what to do. But yeah, if it's someone that I'm not sure, I just print it out. It's a half-page document. I can print it on cardstock. I can print it on paper. I can print it on something nice, and then that way, just it saves a lot of questions.
I like
And
that.
I'm kind of hoping that it entices people to use them more. So
Well, my reason for doing, I have a couple different reasons. One, I want to make sure that all the colors that are, because that's a whole nother question, is do you wash your fabric before or do you not wash your fabric before? And I don't wash my fabric before I use it. And so I don't want all those colors maybe like bleeding into something else that they have, or bleeding onto the white, so I make sure I use the color catchers, for one, for the coloring, and then the other is, to me, a quilt looks so different before it's washed and after it's washed. Before it's washed, it's all smooth and flat, and I don't want my recipient to wash it and go, oh my gosh, what did I do to my quilt?
right,
Did I, because it goes to being crunchy is what I call it. And
yeah,
so I like to make sure that how it's going to look for them all the time, that's how it looks when they're given the quilt. That's my
yeah. And
reasoning
that's something
behind it.
else I'd like to ask in like for you, as someone who does wash it pre, and everything else.
Hmm.
Do you find that any fabrics really bleed?
Um, the other project that I finished up here recently, and it's been a project that had been in the making for a long time. And if any of you know me, have already known me from my channel, and have known me all along, I'm a slow quilter. I don't. It takes me a long time to finish a project. I just don't get it done quick, and that's just something that even for a lot of other things when I was scrapbooking or doing, um, making cards and stuff, just being creative, it takes me a while. And so that's why sometimes a lot of my projects aren't done quickly. And I made my husband a t-shirt quilt, and I did it quilt as you go, which was completely different because the first quilt that I made was a t-shirt quilt, and I quilted it on my machine that I had, my domestic machine that I have now. I didn't want to go through that whole process again. So I thought, I wonder if I can do quilt as you go on the t-shirt quilt. So I did, and it turned out fabulous. My husband
Yes,
loves
yes, it
it.
did.
It's heavy and it's beautiful. It actually fits our bed. So we'll probably use it, especially during the winter time because it's so warm. And so it had a lot of dark colors in it. A lot of his shirts were black, gray, and blue. He had a couple of white ones, but the t-shirts didn't bleed because they've been washed so much. It was the colors that I used for the background fabric because I didn't use just one. But with doing quilt as you go, I had 10-inch squares. Well, it was more bigger. It was more like 14-inch squares on the back. And I had reds in there. I had blues. So when I put the color catchers in there, I put a ton of them in there. And when I pulled them out, they had a blue jean color
Oh, okay.
to it. So I'm glad that I put them in there. So sometimes I find that the darker fabrics, like the red and the blues and the blacks, those colors really do tend to
Bleed a little bit.
bleed a little
Yeah,
from washing.
I was just curious because like I've washed some fabrics in the past, sometimes by accident. Um, I got a gift actually from Nancy. I'm not sure she's still on the channel or not. And she sent me some wonderful fat quarters, including this really beautiful red fabric. And
Oh,
I opened up the package, and this red fat quarter come flying out of the package and landed straight in the bacon grease. I was like, oh, good gosh.
oh
Oh,
no.
yeah, straight in the bacon grease. It's like, oh my goodness. And I don't think I ever told Nancy this story, so she's probably laughing at herself. Um, right, yeah. But I went ahead and washed it, and I was like, I wonder how bad this bleeds, and it didn't, which is nice. But I've washed, I've seen Amanda wash. My wife, Amanda, she is a knitter, and most of the stuff that she buys is indie dye. Like people that dye it in their own home and that sort of thing there and sell it. And there's beautiful, beautiful colors. But some of the colors they're like purples, blues, reds, and that sort of thing. Now you have to wash that yarn afterwards because it bleeds horribly. Like you can put it in a bowl, you can put this yarn in a bowl of water and count to that 15, and it'll just turn bright purple, bright blue, whatever the color is. It's
Oh,
and so
wow.
I've never seen fabric do that. But yarn, especially like the commercially stuff done, the commercially made stuff doesn't tend to do it as much. But like the indie dye stuff definitely bleeds. So it's that's why I was curious. Sweet Granny is asking, how does one wash a quilt? Cold water. I think cold water is. I don't know that doing it in warm or hot water is a smart idea, but I'm not an expert. So someone has more information on that, I'd love to hear that because I do not have all the answers. I do see people commenting to my question earlier. Apparently, Tasha's vacuuming her sewing room right now. It's a miracle. That will not be happening today. Melanie says she washes hers with color catchers. Tasha washes hers before she gifts because I'm internally worried it'll disintegrate in the washer and dryer, and she does use color catchers. Heather says I do wash them, but do not use color catchers with batik fabric. She told me that earlier in the week too, which was really neat because I didn't know you couldn't do it. I think we'll find out why in a minute. But I'm guessing it's got something to do with the how they make batiks, because they use like the wax dyes, to put the prints on there and that sort of thing there as well.
Okay.
Amanda from Stitching Life Together says I only wash the quilts I keep. Melanie says if it's to be hung up, then no washing. Brenda washes all hers, but I pre-prep my fabric, not much shrinkage. Melanie has had some bleeding. Polly says she always washes hers. Steven says he always washes his quilts after they're finished in cold water and a little detergent and always use it with 2 color catchers. I do this because I like the softness and I like to make sure that nothing falls apart and goes a little funny. And so I've just been like, if something happens to it when you wash it, just let me know and I'll fix it. So so far it hasn't happened. So I think I'm doing all right. Nancy says she's laughing at what I told her. So Candace is here as well. So that's really good information to have. So let's see. Why no color catches?
Well, and I do something special too. I don't know if anybody else does it, but I take the quilt and I give it some cuddles on the couch or in the chair before I give it away. It's got to have some of my I got to love on it a little bit before I give it away because I don't know about y'all, but when you make a quilt, they're just special.
They are,
and they become a piece of your heart.
They do, and some people just really, really, I don't know. Everyone I've given one to, even like what I call the simple quilts, they just think it's like the best thing ever, And it was really sweet, and I think I've told this story before. My team and I at work, we gave I made a small baby quilt for one of my colleagues who his wife had their first child. And a couple of years later, he was telling me, his daughter always takes her favorite blanket to daycare. And it was this one, it's a quilt, not a blanket. I'm not going to sit there and correct it. And that just made I don't think I was having a particularly good day at work that day. And that just made my day so much better. Like just knowing that she took this quilt with her to daycare every day, and he puts, him and his wife put that thing in the washing machine all the time. I mean, it's like a germ central. So if it's been washed as much as that thing has, I obviously did something right. So there we go. All right. So Heather says, batiks are dyed, not printed like most fabric today. So color catchers just suck the dye out and you lose all the beautiful color. Okay. Well, there we go. See, I knew Heather would be able to tell me. I was like, I looked it up and all I could see was like, they say it's okay to do. So I was like, okay, I'm missing something here. I'm going to wait for Heather to catch me up on this. So good morning to Miss Donnell. She'll be on at 10, I believe, unless she's taking the day off, but she didn't tell me she was. So I'm assuming she's on today. And then Josie's here with us as well. Good morning. Annette says all quilts from her place leave with washing instructions and an insurance value appraisal. And that's an idea.
Oh, that's very, very nice. I
never
would have thought of. Oh gosh.
No, I didn't either.
Because Yeah, they say, you can go to the store and you can buy one of those pre-made quilts already and you'll pay, whatever you pay for it. But, it's better to go home and make your own and spend 3 times as much to make the same, quilt. I've heard that before. I laughed at that. So yeah, I mean, most of our quilts are, they have a
Yeah, I
lot
mean
of
that's
value in them.
they do, especially like yeah, if you've made one for somebody, or like even like on commission, like yeah, it's yeah, because if you think about it, like by the time you put the materials in, which the price of fabric just keeps going up, and I think it's going to get even worse once Joanne's is done, and other factors that are going on in the world that we will not discuss because there's a time and place for that, and this is not it. And then your labor, like even if you give yourself, minimum wage, like it might
Mhm.
take you 8 hours to make a quilt if you're making a simple patchwork quilt. If you're Tiffany from Tiffany's Creative Life, you could probably do it in an hour and a half, but she can charge a higher rate. Martha said she's a little slower, so her labor costs a little higher. But even if you like, but there's some quilts that can take 30, 40, 50, 60 hours, like the Wizard of Oz. I lost count how many hours I spent on that thing. So yeah, I mean that's a really, really good point. I never thought about doing insurance values, but I might have to steal that idea from Annette and do that from now on. That's a really, really good idea. So yeah, Stephen brings up a good point. He says there's a lot of different opinions on the internet to discuss using color catches with boutiques. No definitive answer. I guess you do what works best for you. Might be like everything else, like be cautious, and if you want to, test it on like a scrap or something, first. Maybe
Mhm.
use a little piece of a color catcher in a scrap and just see what happens. So I don't know.
That's a good idea.
That's an yeah. Well, they always tell you to do that with like carpet cleaners and everything else. Like test on a piece of fabric first. So Steven says he's used color catchers on his boutiques and never faded. I guess it's been like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not knowledgeable enough to do it. Yeah, but if you do, yeah, just be cautious. So, but yeah, it's really good to hear that from Heather too. I always appreciate everybody's opinion and tips and tricks because I do not have all the answers, and I learn so much from my viewers. I really, really do. Good
I do
morning, Miss
too.
Sheree.
I will
Yeah, because
never say that I have all the answers. I certainly don't. I agree with
Joyty's
you.
asking, do I use plain fabric softener when washing a quilt? I don't. I just toss it in the washing machine with detergent and say have fun.
Mhm.
Um, I don't use a lot of fabric softener.
We don't either. We just I don't know. It seems maybe it's the water that we have. We have one of those water softeners, and I think if we put fabric softener in it just I don't know. Our clothes have a certain feel, so I think it may depend on also how
Yeah,
your
how hard
water
or
is
soft the
brewed.
water is. That's a
Mhm.
very good point. Yes, I think we ran out of fabric softener one day, and I didn't really notice a difference between the fabric softener clothes and the non-fabric softener clothes. So I was like, why am I
Mhm.
wasting all this money and resources on this stuff when it's really not? Um, no, yeah. But if you have I think if you have more hard water, like you're at rural, or you're using, um, what do they use? It's called well water. I was going to say we call it bore water, in Australia. I think if you have that, you'd probably want to use a softener because, yeah, I hadn't thought about the type of water you have, but that's a very, very good point. And that says I can go ahead and steal the idea. Well, thank you for that. I really appreciate that. So Tasha says she doesn't use fabric softener. She uses wool balls in her dryer. Works great for quilts and everything. That's interesting
Mhm.
that you like those. So we had some of those, and it didn't really work. I didn't notice any difference on that either. And all I noticed was it just made a heck of a noise in the dryer as it was rolling around. So, but it's good to know that they do work.
Hey, you didn't
Yeah,
forget that you had clothes in the dryer at that point.
yeah. I mean, and the
Yeah,
dryer
we
is not
have those
far from
too.
where I sit, so I hear it. It's not like it's in a garage or anything else like that. So, oh, that's an idea. Brenda says here that she's actually embroidered instructions on the binding. My machine has the alphabet: wash, cold water, tumble dry.
Whoa, that's
I'm
awesome.
telling you, our viewers have the best ideas. They have the best tips and tricks. Between
Yes.
us, we have probably thousands of years of experience, and we all do things our own little way and come up with these brilliant ideas. So yeah, this is fun. So Stephen says, I really don't know if fabric softener makes much of a difference to quilt, so I don't always use it. I am old and I tend to forget. Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I think for the most part, you probably don't need it. But yeah, if you have hard water or, you use fabric softener for your clothes and it makes a difference, then maybe you want to use it for your quilt. I don't know. Test it and see what happens. That might be good too. So, all
And
right.
I
So
wouldn't
Donnell
use.
says, go ahead.
I was gonna say I wouldn't use fabric softener if I was giving a quilt away either, because I don't know if the person who's the recipient, maybe they don't like fabric softener, they don't like the smell of it. Because sometimes people
You
have, you know, very
allergies.
sensitive noses, allergies, and things like that.
Yeah, and you don't always know that too. Like I know,
Right.
uh, like my coworker sits next to me. She's like my work mom, and I found out the hard way she's allergic to eucalyptus.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I had one of those like essential oil things because it helps with my breathing and stuff in
Mm-hmm.
the office. I'm susceptible to bronchitis and that sort of thing there. And she asked me like after 30 minutes or so, she's like, "Is there eucalyptus in that thing?" I'm like, "Yes, I love eucalyptus." She's like, "I'm allergic to it." I'm like, I had no idea. Like, so
You're
yeah,
aw. You're like, I'm sorry.
I didn't mean to kill you.
You're like, hello, are you okay over there? Where are you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it didn't harm her, but yeah, she knew something was up, and that's why she asked me,
Yeah.
"Hey, what's going on here?" So yeah, you
Oh.
sometimes you don't know about people's sensitivities and allergies. So oh, okay. Fallon says we can't use fabric softeners. We're all prone to eczema. Is that what it is? Eczema? I think that's
Eczema,
how it's
yeah.
pronounced. Okay.
Eczema.
See, I can just pronounce it wrong and say that's how you say it in Australia, right?
Yes.
Until one of my Australian audience members comes on and goes, Sean, you're full of it. So
One of the girls that I see a couple times a week that comes into work, I looked at her. I said, "I'm going to get to Chinwag with my Aussie mate tomorrow morning," and she just started laughing because she's from Australia too. And
yeah,
she's like, "You call him your mate?" I'm like, "Yeah, he's my friend. He's my
yeah.
Aussie friend." I'm
Everybody's
like, "You're
my
from
mate.
Australia. You should know that." She just
Yeah.
started laughing.
Yeah, we don't have to learn people's names in Australia because everybody's mates. So, it's like so much easier. Like if you don't remember, if you're bad with names, Australia's a good place to move to because you can just yeah, say, hey mate. Here I have to learn people's names. So there you go. Okay, Donnell will be on at 10. She's making a quilt for her uncle for his birthday. Good morning to Miss Margie. It's good to see you as well. I'm really liking this like thread cutter thing on this machine where I just press the button that does it for me.
Isn't that nice?
It is. I didn't know that was something that I would like.
How are you enjoying your new machine? I mean, I know you
I
just
love
said
my
you're enjoying that, but I'm sure you miss your old one because that one has been through lots of sewing hours with you, but you're getting to have a new sewing mate there. So,
oh, for sure. I mean, yeah, the rubber machine will have had sentimental value. It still does. I don't know that I'll be able to like actually physically throw it in the trash can anytime soon, if ever. It actually is going to star in a couple more videos still.
oh,
Well, it was in a video last week. I did a tutorial on how to, do the top thread on your sewing machine, and I figured a
mm-hmm.
lot of beginners would use because this one's a little different to what the other ones are. So I used that one, and I was like, it doesn't have to work for me to be able to show you how to thread it. The same thing with the bobbin. So you'll see that machine out and about a couple more times.
I love
You know,
that.
that sort of thing there as well. So, but no, I do miss it. It was a wonderful machine. I'm still getting used to, like, because I'd used that thing so long. I was just like, I knew all of it. There's still a bit of a learning curve to this one. I love this machine. It's doing such a wonderful job. It has features on here that I didn't have on the old machine or even on the Benina. So, yeah, absolutely love the machine. I feel that I made the right choice for me for this.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, No, it's been really nice. It's got a couple more perks on here than I had before. I do have the alphabet on this as well. I do want to test it out at some point. I had it on the Benina, but I could never really get that one to. Oh, that's pretty. I couldn't really get that one to work the way I wanted it to. Like some letters it would do beautifully, and some it just was not my friend there as well. Margie says she went to the Joann's app and it said we could no longer order online. Yeah, they got rid of the website like a month, 6 weeks ago, because I went on there like mid-March, early April, I forget when it was, and they had said that they got rid, because basically what they're doing is they're clearing up that warehouse of theirs, wherever it is, and sending everything to the stores. So yeah, the online, if you see anything from, if you see any online stuff for Joann's, it is a scam. Do not buy anything online from Joann's because it does not exist. It's someone trying to part you with your money and not giving you anything in return. So that's a very good point to bring up there, Margie. Thank you for that. Fallon is asking what machine did I get? She says I'm so behind. I got a FARF. I actually originally had purchased a FARF Passport 3.0, but then it was back ordered, and I talked to the sewing, the sewing machine store, I guess that's what they call it,
The dealer.
about the place I bought it from, about what the cost difference was if I upgraded to another machine they had in stock. And so they had this one here, which is the Ambition 620, which retails for, I think it's like $500 more than the one I had purchased. And they came back and said, hey, if you're willing to take a class used machine that's been used a handful of times, it'll come with the full manufacturer warranty. We'll send it to you same price. I'm like, I can't say no to that deal. And so they checked it all over and made sure, and it looks brand new. Like if you didn't tell me it was class used, I would have had no idea. Like it was just like it was brand new in the box. They shipped it out to me from Pennsylvania. I almost said Philadelphia. That's a city, not a state. On Friday evening, UPS had it on my doorstep 14 hours later, and it was ground.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I couldn't get over that. Like, because UPS site kept telling me, okay, look, once it's picked up, we'll give you an ETA. And this was on a Friday afternoon. It got picked up at like 5:45 in the evening, and the UPS site said it'd be delivered, on Saturday. And I'm like, UPS doesn't deliver on Saturday. But no, 9 o'clock, right after my live had finished that next morning. The doorbell rings and there's the sewing machine sitting there waiting for me. So yeah, I was ecstatic.
That's amazing. That's wonderful that you were able to get it so quickly. And I think with sewing machines, it's great that yours was used just a few times. I mean, they broke it in. They knew if there was something wrong with it.
Oh, for sure. And it's been checked twice because it was checked in the factory.
Right.
It was used a couple of times, like to break it in, like you said. And then the store, they took like 4 or 5 days to go, because that's what he told me to do. He said, I want to go through it, make sure it's all good, because I'm 2 states away.
Right.
Want to make sure all the pieces were there and wanted to make sure it was running, as it should. And then, and they put it in a box and sent it out there as well. So, but no, I was very, very, Eva says I talked to my dealer. That's what it is. Yeah. I love it when Heather comes on. She has the best comments. Her and Steve are probably two of my two that I think of right away with the comments. Like whenever either one of those two are here, you're in for a good time. So that's really fun. But yeah, no,
they both have such wit. They can come up with funny things just right off the cuff. I love that.
Right. So that was really neat. I was very happy with my experience, with them. As I said, the delay with the back order, they weren't expecting. It's not their fault. And they did right by me. So, and they don't know that I have a channel. I don't like to go to places and say, hey, can I get a deal because I'm a content creator or an influencer or whatever else you want to call me, a crazy nut, male quilter, I don't know. So they probably didn't know I was any different to anybody else. So yeah, I mean, they gave me a good solution. I grabbed it, and I'm very, very happy with this. The Passport would have been great. I mean, I like the idea of it being compact, but I do also like that this one's a little bit bigger as well, because yeah, it gives more flexibility.
Yes, definitely.
So there you go. Fallon says one of my local shops exclusively sells those and are amazing. Unfortunately, I can't justify another machine. No, I totally get that, and that was one of the reasons I wanted to look at the Fafs at the quilt show, because my closest dealer for them, I think, is the one in Pennsylvania, or there's one in North Carolina. It's like 5 hours away. So I was very interested in this brand, but I was like, I'm not going to drive 5 hours to go test drive a machine, when they're coming down to my doorstep, basically, at the quilt show. Plus, I think you get better prices at the quilt shows anyway. So there you go. Did I miss any questions?
I'm not sure.
I know Joyce asked if I liked the machine. I just answered that. So Stephen says he really thinks in general the victims of the company that make fabric softeners in any form, because in reality, I don't think they make a great difference with anything you're washing. Yeah, and I think that's probably true for the most part. So I think, again, if you're working on well water or something, I'm sure it probably would help. But other than that, yeah, maybe save your money and try it without it a couple of times and see if there's a difference. And if not, save the money and buy it with fabric. Spend it on fabric.
I gotta pull Jack out.
Oh, I'm sorry. Speaking of Jack, yeah, I meant to say this earlier and I forgot. I just did put this all together and I realized that these here, this row is supposed to be the other way around.
Oh no.
And I don't know, and let me know what you all think. I don't know that I really feel like pulling that out and redoing it. I think it'll be just a little bit different.
Well, they can sometimes call them happy little accidents.
Yeah, well, I
Why
think
not?
just about and that's the other thing. Every gnome I've done, I've had a happy little accident, as Bob Ross likes to say. On just about every one. Every gnome I've made, I think, has a unique spin on it. So, I think we're just gonna leave it as is. And I didn't notice it till afterwards. And yeah, that's a lot of work for me to pull out. So I think I'm just gonna
leave it. Well,
leave it as is.
I made a happy little accident on the little quilted you go quilt that I showed y'all earlier. I was showing my husband and he goes, "This is so beautiful." And then he looked at it and he went, I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "Did you mean to do it that way?" And I'm like, "What?" And he goes, and he showed it to me. I was like, "Oh, good grief." I said, "No, that was not intentional." And he goes, "Well, happy little accident."
Yep, there you go. I think we'll just use Stephen's quote here. If you can't see it, notice it with riding a galloping horse down the road. You don't have to worry about it. So I think we just got to leave it as it is. And that says nothing wrong with a little bit different. Dawn says she uses a little bit of fabric softener to control static cling. Okay. Yeah, I think this depends on your situation. It really does. I didn't realize, you never know where you got to go with conversation here on My Lives. I didn't think we were going to talk about fabric softener. But, here we are, we're all learning stuff. So Jen says she uses wool balls in her dryer. Don't know if it really makes any difference. Yeah, I'd be interested to know what other people think about the wool balls. Because as I said, all I real felt with them was hearing them bang around, and I thought my dryer was going to explode. So I think we finally got rid of them.
Well, you can use wool balls too and put essential oils in them. So just make sure that before you go to work and you're washing your clothes, don't put eucalyptus on the wool balls and then go to work. That way you don't kill your coworker.
Well,
but a lot of people use essential
Yeah.
oils on them as well.
Yeah, that's what we were doing, and I found that too. Like we used to diffuse the eucalyptus and stuff here, and it affects Finley.
Oh.
Yeah, so I can't really use eucalyptus anywhere. So, which is sad because if you're like all stuffy and that sort of thing, the eucalyptus will clear your sinuses out in about 5 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
It's fantastic for that.
And I think that one is one that either you love it or you hate it. There's no in between.
Well, I grew up in Australia, so you have to love eucalyptus. I don't think there was really any choice in the matter. So
They're like, you're going to love this, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, there you go. Fallon says, for anyone who likes soccer, last week my daughter's team only had 9 players for a game. Somehow they still won the game with down 2 players. That is impressive.
Wow.
That means that someone, that's just like a really, really good team. So good for them. Good evening to Miss Catherine. She says, "Hi, Sean and Mark. I hope you're all well in the chat and happy Easter for Aussie land." And yeah, it's Easter where she is because it's now almost 1 a.m. in Tasmania. So there we
Oh,
go.
wow.
All right.
Very nice.
Joy says she needs a better rotary cutter. Yeah, let us know in the comments what your preferred rotary cutter is. I use the plain old Fiskars one that seems to do a good job for me in the majority of situations. And then I also have the Martelli because when I use the thicker rulers like Fallon's rulers,
Mm-hmm.
there's the nut on the Fiskars one here gets in the way. It won't actually let me cut it. Like this part here, it's not deep enough. And so, and it's
I
the
like
same thing
my.
with the 45 mil. It doesn't matter what size I use. It's still, I guess if I could use a 60 mil, I'd probably get away with it, but I don't want to use something that big. So yeah, for Fallon's rulers, I use my Martelli, and mine's blue because I'm left-handed. But yeah, if you all have a better, if you have ideas for a good rotary cutter, I know, we'll probably get 75 different answers, and that's perfectly okay. Because yeah, maybe one day I'll need to replace my Fiskars one. So
I have the Olfa. It's a 45. That one is kind of my go-to. I have my Martelli as
okay,
well, but mine's in red because I'm right-handed. But this
yeah.
one's a 45. It works because it's just.
Oh, okay. And it's got the automatic thing. That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't want to. It's always. And this is a public service announcement for today. I was reading on someone else's channel the other day. Asked if you ever left the blade open, and the answer to that should always be no, because there was one time I left the blade open on that Fiskars one, and it fell off the table and hit me straight on the foot.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't
Ouch.
hurt bad, thankfully.
That's
But
good.
yeah, that's a mistake you make once and once only. So
Yes.
there you go.
Yeah, the
But
answer is no, you never leave them open. But as
no,
soon
never
as
leave
I
them open.
leave it open, then my finger like, gravitates towards it. I'm like, no, close it, close it, close it.
Yeah, just yeah, definitely always close your. I know it's a pain. I know you don't want to, and you're thinking it's just going to be a second. But yeah, you just never know. Like if something happened, like I just had it sitting on the table. I didn't think anything was going to happen. Then I knocked it, and it fell straight on my foot. It almost hit me on the toe. So
Yeah.
yeah. Dawn says she likes the Alpha. Viscous rotary cutter broke. Yeah, I might have to go check out the Alpha ones. At some point. I mean, the Fiskars ones work fine for me. I mean, there's no issues with them, but I've had them for 11 years. I know one of these days the plastic's just going to snap on me. That's not going to be good.
Yeah, you don't want that to happen. Annette says she wants to talk to you about the left-handed Martelli.
Okay, what would you like to know? I mean, it works just the same. As far as I can tell, it works the same way as the right-handed one. It's just that it's made for left-handed people because, like the right-handed one, the handle would stick out this side. I could just be flipped, and so because I use it left-handed, it works just beautifully for me. So there is a learning if you've been using a regular rotary cutter and then you switch over. Okay, come here. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah. So it's basically the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there is a learning curve to Martelli. If you're used to using a regular rotary cutter, which it's kind of like up and down, it's really hard to do when you're not actually cutting fabric. So it's like up and down. Whereas
Yeah.
this one's more like that sort of motion there as well. So
Like Becca
yeah,
with Becca, she uses hers all the time and she just cuts it with such ease. And I'm just like, how does she do that?
practice. It's definitely practice. Like
Yes.
for the longest time, I struggled with it. I wasn't sure if it was something I was going to like. And I'm like, did I just waste, $20 on this cutter? Because I bought it on sale at a quilt show too. And it was the last
Oh.
one they had left. And I didn't like when I picked it up, I didn't even realize it was a left-handed one. And
Oh.
when I went to buy it, she's like, do you realize this is left-handed? I'm like, no, but that's good because that's what I need. So, but anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. first long time I really struggled using it. It's a totally different motion. Horizontal
Definitely.
versus vertical. If that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Right.
But now that I've been using a lot with Fallon's rulers, because I have to, like I have no other choice in the matter. The more I've used it, the more I enjoy it. So I think if you've got a martelli and at first you don't like it, just give it a chance.
Yeah. Keep
Yeah,
working on it. I
keep
have gotten
working on
better
it.
with it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think over time now I just pick it up and it's like it's not even an issue. Like I feel very much at ease with it. So um okay, she says I'm left-handed, injured arm is left. Yes, I think it'll take you a bit of a learning curve there and that, but I think if you um try it with the other hand, I'd say in theory it'll work. I've never tried using a right-handed one. If I go back to Becca's house again one day, I might have to try her right-handed one just to see how it feels. Because that'd be interesting. Yeah, Zaza says that she's heard the Martelli is a learning curve. It really is. It's kind of like going, not the same thing, of course, but kind of like going from traditional to FPP or something. Yeah, it's just a
Yeah.
different way of thinking. It's a different, you're doing a
Just a
different
different
axis rather
method.
than doing
Yeah.
X-axis, you're using Y-axis, and that's about as far as my geometry skills go. So, um, yeah, but it's nice. I really do enjoy it. Did I show what I did? Let's put his nose on, or half his nose now on. So Georgie likes Alpha better than Fisker. Yeah, and I think they have rotary cutter dealers at the quilt shows where you can go test them out. So that might be an idea for someone to do one day. So I can go test them all out in one place.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I don't see it happening though.
I think it just really depends on what, like you said, what
Yeah,
works best for you or
yeah.
what are you comfortable with?
Yeah, I like the smaller ones, like I like the 28 mil ones. Like I don't like the bigger ones because I'm only usually cutting 1 or 2 layers at a time, so I don't need this 45 or the 60 to cut the 12 layers of fabric at one time.
I haven't tried the smaller ones. I don't have one of those.
Well, I think when I bought my cutting mat when I first started sewing, I think it came with a 28 or
Mm-hmm.
40, or I got a circle ruler like template thing for cutting circles and half circles, and you have to use a 28 with that because a 45 won't fit in it. So maybe
Ah.
that's why I bought a 20. I can't, for some reason I ended up with a 45 and a 28, and I just kind of gravitated towards the 28. It's worked out better for me because I started using it for the circles, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just kind of used it ever since. And the blades tend to be cheaper for the 28 a little bit if you buy like the blades I buy on Amazon because I buy. I don't buy the Fisker brand ones. There's a brand. I think it's called Azteca, or I'll have to look it up for you. But they sell those blades really, really cheap on Amazon. It's like $10 for 12 of them, and they last forever. I only
Wow.
have. Oh yeah, these things are absolutely fantastic. I can go grab a link for them, and put them in. Like I've got an affiliate link for them as well if you ever need them. But yeah, these things are fantastic. Like the Fisker ones are fine and all, but they're expensive, and these ones are like much, much cheaper and works so much better. I think I buy a 12 pack for the 2 different colors I use, and I might have to go buy a new pack every 18 months or something. They're really, really good. I highly recommend them. So Jen says, I'm just glad we have rotary cutters, templates, and scissors were so time consuming. I could not imagine doing it that way. Like, especially with all the fine stuff that I do. Yeah, I think I'd go stir crazy.
No.
Like, more
I'd go
power to all
crazy.
you ladies and gentlemen out there that did it the old school way. Like, my hat's off to you. But I
Right.
don't know that I would have jumped into quilting like this if I had to do that.
I really would be slow then.
You could, yeah.
I'd never get a project done. Are you
Okay,
done with
so
your project? No, I'm still cutting.
I feel like that as it is sometimes because, like, I looked at the cutting instructions for the beagle block. I was like, I should start on Copper's block, and it's like, there's like 200 and something pieces in that, I think. I don't know if
Oh
it's
my
quite that many, but it's a
goodness.
lot. Well, it goes from A to Z, and then there's double letters all the way through the alphabet. So,
Oh my.
yeah, I was like, I'm not doing that in an hour. So that's why I started working on this today. So,
Which one in it has the least amount of fabric colors?
I really don't know.
Is
Let me
it the
see.
pug?
Well, you got to think of all the corners and everything else. Yeah, let's take a
Yeah.
look. Now we're curious. Maybe the dachshund, because it's got
Oh,
such a long body.
yeah.
Corgi doesn't seem to have a whole lot, so maybe the corgi. Oh, hang on. Why don't I just look at the list?
I
That
had two
doesn't look.
pugs a long time ago. I had a black one and a fawn colored one.
Yeah,
And
my
I
grandmother
always
loved
loved
pugs.
pugs.
All right, so the little chihuahua doesn't look too terrible. Maybe the beagle is just a bad one. Oh, this little I don't know what this one is. The one down here in the bottom corner. That one doesn't seem to have a whole lot of pieces. But yeah, we won't be doing that today. So
You'll have to let
okay,
us know later at another
yeah, I
time.
might cut some stuff out later. We'll figure it out. So oh, Annette says she doesn't want right-handed. Wanting to find something I can cut using my left hand. My right hand is too uncoordinated. See, there's no way for me to test it, without having a right-handed one. But I guess we can do it backwards. I think you could do it. And apparently they're on sale right now. So there you go. Yeah, there you go. All right. Donald says it amazes me how you keep all the location organized in your head as to the time zone. I work in all different time zones, because I work with folks in Europe. I work with people in Atlantic time zone, which is like New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and that sort of thing there. Central time zone, and then that sort of thing there. So yeah, I've gotten pretty good at knowing what time it is everywhere else. So the Middle East and that sort of thing there, I'm a little fuzzy on because I don't really talk to anybody over there. But other than that, yeah, I'm pretty good with all that stuff.
That's
So,
good because you'd be asking me what time zone. Be I don't know.
like when I talk to my guests, like on scheduling that sort of thing there, I usually tell them, okay, look, I'm coming on at this time Central, this time Mountain, this time Eastern. John up in Nova Scotia, he kind of knows he's an hour ahead of me, so he's usually pretty good. But yeah, I usually just convert for everybody. But I'm kind of used to that with the girls anyway, because I convert everything to metric for them. Like Amanda will tell them it's like 77 degrees outside, and I'm like, that's 24. So I was like, you two just won the exchange student lottery because I'm probably the only person, one of the few people that you got to be placed with that knows metric.
Well, that comes in handy with you knowing metric.
Well, that's what I grew up with. I had to learn the US system when I got here. So at least for temperature liquids. Okay, apparently the Middle East is 1 hour ahead of Europe at the moment. Yeah, because Europe has two time zones. There's CET, I think, Central European time, which is most of mainland Europe, and then it switches over like an hour further ahead once you hit like Greece, Macedonia, Bulgaria, Ukraine, that sort of area there. And I know I'm missing a few countries, but it's around that area. It's where it's like an hour ahead of like France, Germany, Poland, Czech Republic, and all that sort of stuff there as well. Joyce is asking you, Martha, what machine do you use? You have a baby lock, right?
Yeah, I do. I have a baby lock Verve, and I love my machine. My husband got it for me. It's been probably about 5 years ago now, and it's the best little machine. It's also an embroidery machine, but I haven't used that yet because I've been so focused on quilting. But it's a wonderful machine.
Nice. And is that your first machine, or did you use something else before that?
Well, before that, when I first started sewing and playing around, my aunt had passed away, and she had a Kenmore
Okay.
sewing machine, And I was using that, and it finally one day just kind of blew up and stopped working. So I had to go find something else, and I found just it, it was actually during the pandemic. I found a brother, just a basic brother sewing machine.
Yeah,
It's still a wonderful sewing machine, but I
that's
use
actually
it
real
like if
backup.
I'm going somewhere like to a retreat, maybe like a class, I'll take that one
That's fun.
just because it's so simple and easy to use. But I love my baby lock.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people do enjoy the baby locks. So
hmm And of course, she's got cotton cut stickers all over her. She can't
yeah,
help
I
it.
haven't got I haven't put a lot of stickers on mine yet. I actually transferred the Always Quilt Time one of Alice in Wonderland on because it was on the back of my machine. On the brother, I actually was able to pull that sticker off and put it on the front of this one. I'll have to take a picture and show you all at some point. And yeah, I've got the guy who sews stickers you can see here as well. I've did get some Beagle stickers off Etsy. They were like
Oh,
$3 and some change for 9 stickers, including shipping. So we'll be putting 1 or 2 of these on here soon, and then there's some Darkson stickers coming, which I think are going to be due to arrive today. So, um, yeah, maybe with some luck, we'll see some. Because I want to put about a Beagle sticker and a Darkson sticker on there at least. So, yeah, we'll be seeing those soon. Joy said she's been thinking of buying a second machine in between a Juki or a Baby Lock. Okay, they're both good options. Oh, that's pretty. I'm so
that is
distracted.
Alaska. I
Oh,
didn't want
very
to
nice.
interrupt you. I didn't want to interrupt you, so I just put it up on the screen.
Oh no, you're fine. Just
They're
trying to make
super
sure that
easy to put together. I mean, how long have I? When did I start that?
about an hour ago, maybe, because
Yeah.
we said hello to everybody and we talked about who you are and that sort of thing there for a while. So yeah, you probably didn't start to like 7:15 or so your time.
Yeah. So they're really easy to put together,
Did that? So
and they're about 8-inch blocks. Thank you.
yes, yeah. Oh, Jamie, I meant to say hi to you earlier, Jamie. I'm sorry, I saw you pop in. I'm sorry. I get distracted too easily. Giovanna's here. Ciao to you. It's good to see you. That's right. I read your comment earlier. I'm a mess.
I mean, we're playing with beautiful fabric, so of course we get distracted.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good
Oh,
question. A couple of people said they don't put stickers on their machines, and that's fine. I didn't put stickers on my machine. I didn't put stickers on my brother for many years, but I like the personalization. Like it's hard to buy a site. Like I thought it'd be fun. Like I'm really a bit surprised when I first looked at sewing machines, like that you couldn't buy them in like red, green, blue, yellow, pink, and that sort of thing. There, like you couldn't just like custom pick your or buy a wrap that went around your sewing machine. And I was like, I want to do something to personalize mine. So I don't know that I want to flood my sewing machine with stickers, but that's fun. But yeah, I think a few on there would be fun. Oh, that's what happened.
yeah,
It's very
mine's not covered in them because my machine is precious too. I totally get that. If no one wants to put stickers on theirs, I just put cotton cut stickers on mine because I love those. They just bring me joy. And then
yes,
uh, Maggie's Craft sent me a Jack sticker, and then
yes.
she sent me some gnome stickers, so I had to put one of those each on mine too.
Yeah, she sent me a Jack sticker too. I've got to find a place for that. Um,
It's on the side, on the right side of it, so
yeah,
I can't see it, but I see it.
yeah, because I forgot about. I'm glad you mentioned that because yeah, I have that, and I was waiting because she sent it to me while I was waiting for the new machine to show up, and yeah, I've got to put that on there somewhere because that was the plan, and then I totally forgot. So I'm glad you reminded me on that.
You're welcome.
So okay, so yeah, there's a few people here saying no stickers, and that's perfectly fine. There's no you do what works best for you. If you
Yes.
like to have the machine as is, that's great.
hmm
Um, But yeah, I think there's some folks that, like I think Beth, who I had on last week, um, I think hers is covered with stickers. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of
Okay.
like personalization on your car. Some people put stickers on their car. I have, two stickers on my window on the back, but that's it. But,
Yeah.
I don't put stickers on my car.
I have a couple on
And
mine,
some people
just,
do.
so I know it's
And
my
some people
car.
do. Yeah, and some people do, and that's okay.
There
It's
you
all about
go.
what brings you joy.
Yeah, that's a true point there. As I says, if you take machines to retreats or classes, you should have your name somewhere inconspicuous on your machine. That way, yeah, because I think the chances of someone else having one of these machines is fairly um, remote. But yeah, that's a very, very good point. Okay, Andrew says, howdy all who came in after my first howdy. I'm hand quilting, so my fingers are busy, but I'm happy to be with you all today. Oh, excellent. Okay. Well, I'm glad to see. Yeah, I saw you pop in earlier. Okay, let's see. I've done that. I've done that. See, this is my life. I'll talk to myself all the time. Why am I missing something? Oh, there it is.
So I'm not
Okay.
the only one that talks to myself.
Oh no, no, I'm guilty of that every day. Oh, okay, this fell apart because apparently the thread came out and I didn't realize it. We're having a mess of a day here. And you're all along for the ride. But we're going to wrap things up in just a few minutes because I think Martha has other stuff to do today, right?
Yes, I do. We got a full day planned ahead. So hopefully I'll have a chance to get back in here today at some point. Might be after the sun goes down.
Yeah. No, I've planned on spending most of the day here in my sewing room so I can get some stuff done. And then I've got to run out to the store at some point and get some food. Otherwise, we're all going to starve today.
Oh, don't do that.
No,
No starving allowed.
no starving allowed. I think the girls will get upset if I don't feed them.
My
They won't real happy.
sister-in-law, we were talking about that the other day. She was like, "My husband, he needs to feed me," and I'm like, "Well, go get some food." I said, "Don't get hangry."
Well, I've heard that it always tastes better to you when someone else brings it to you.
That is true.
So I've heard.
Or it's someone makes it for you.
Yeah, if someone else makes it for you, if someone brings it to you. So that's what I've heard. I do most of the cooking in my house.
I do too. I enjoy it.
Jamie says she's fasting. She hasn't eaten since Thursday. Good gravy. You're a better person than me. I enjoy my food too much. Okay, there we go. All right, so let's see. Do you have any fun sewing projects that you, because I know you're working on this. Do you have anything else that you want to share with us,
Um,
or is it going to be a stay tuned for more details thing?
some of it is a stay tuned for more details. I've kind of shared a little bit about what the projects is, coming up for um, my mom and dad. I told you about that one, but I don't know when I'll get that done, but it's on my to-do list for 2025. And my
Oh, nice.
sister-in-law will be so happy to hear that because it's on my project. She's a project manager, so she loves to-do lists and getting things done. But um, there is a special project that has been in the works. It's a collaboration with my bestest sister-in-law ever, but it's not something that I can share
Okay.
yet. Once it's done and it's sent to this recipient, then I can share on a video.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because the last thing you want to do is make something and then they just happen to come along, you're not expected, and then it's like, oh my goodness. So
Yeah.
yeah, I totally get that.
There's been too much work put into it to to spill the tea on it. But I think you'll find it'll be really neat. So I apologize that I just don't get a whole lot of videos out. I try as best as I can when I can.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And I mean,
Yeah.
you do what you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always have these grand plans to put out this video this week and this, and 6 times out of 10, it doesn't happen. So,
Yeah.
unfortunately, this is not my full-time job. I wish it was.
Right. Mine
pay the
neither.
bills. I had to start charging you all like outrageous amounts of money for admission, which I don't want to do. So yeah, it's just I do what I can, and I'm just one of those folks, and I think you're the same way there, Mark. Is that if you got to do this, if you got to make a video, you want to make it look good. You don't want to just
Right.
throw
Right.
something out there that doesn't look good. So
Mm-mm.
yeah, you do you. Do
Right.
what makes it work best. And I'm just looking at Joyce's comment here. If you weren't 3 or 4 hours away from me, I'd be coming down to have lunch with you because she's having lamb shish kebabs. I love lamb. I love shish kebabs. So I
Yum.
know she's near North Carolina somewhere, but I've driven around enough the last couple of weeks. I'm not going anywhere else today except for the grocery store. So
Is
I'll
anybody close to Alabama?
Alabama in many years.
Yeah, it's been a while since you've been here, right?
Sorry.
I said it's been a while since you've been in Alabama. I'm trying to think. I want to say when I first met you, you said you had to come up here, or no, you were up in North Alabama for work, I
Yeah,
think,
I was in
or it was some
Birmingham
type of
area, and I went down to
yeah.
Montgomery as far south as I went. But that was like in 2011, 2012.
Oh wow,
It was a while ago.
that was a long time ago.
Yeah, so it was a lot. Whichever year, the last year that the Barons played in Hoover, before they moved to the new downtown park.
Oh okay. Yeah, hubby and I will be up here in Alabama 4 years in June this year. Time flies by so
That's
fast, and I just celebrated my 20 years at work last month, and
that's fun.
we miss some things about Florida, but we enjoy
Well,
it up in
Candace says she's
Alabama.
about an hour from West Point, Alabama. I
I'm
don't know
not
where that
sure
is. I
where
know.
West Point. I wonder if is that closer up north in
I
Alabama?
don't know. I know where West Point, Virginia is. I went by it yesterday.
I am about, I'd say about an hour from the Florida line. So I'm more
Let's
in
see where
lower
West Point
Alabama.
is. That looks like. Da, 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 da.
The Camilla Retreat Center that's in Florella is about an hour from me. I don't know if anyone has heard of that center, but I see commercials about it all the time. I have not visited it yet, but it's a beautiful retreat center. A lot of quilters go there for retreats.
Oh, nice. Okay, so apparently West Point is roughly halfway between Huntsville and Birmingham, so it's up in the northern part of the state.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, apparently she's making the ground lamb kebabs, yogurt sauce, and tabbouleh on the side. Okay, yeah, we're going to have. I'll have to come by your house next year for our QuiltCon and have lunch or breakfast or something.
We're
Oh,
either
there
going
you
to do like a roast or we're going to do like a pork tenderloin tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know what we're having today. I know I've got to run out. Hopefully somebody has a ham left that I can go buy today. Otherwise, I'm in trouble.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I'm lazy. I just do. There you go. Okay, let's see. Deb, how long to your live? Oh, okay. Deb might be live later. Yeah, let me know what time, Deb, and I'll throw you a link up real quick. Actually, if I go to your channel, I might be able to figure it out. Oh, 3 p.m. Hang on, that's not today. 4:25, 4:19. Is that today? Yeah, okay. So she's at 4 p.m. today, Deb. Right? Yes. Share. Copy link. Yeah, one of these days I'll get this right. Okay, so let's see what's going on today. We have Donnell at 10, which I think her link is in. Why is this not working?
I love how we have so many content creators that have things on the weekend. So if you don't catch us live in the morning like this morning,
Yeah, you can
there's
come back
something
and
that
watch
you
later.
can, oh yeah, and come back to watch later or watch it in real time.
Yeah. So Donnell will be live at 10. You can see Russ at 11. I think Mama Pop Quilt Shopper at 1. Deb will be live at 4, which I just threw her link up there as well. And then Katie, I think, is live at 4 today. And then, yeah, speaking of Katie, her and I will be live tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Easter Sunday special. over on her channel. We're going to be putting together the Rising Star. I can never remember, as much as I try, I can never remember the name of this project we're doing.
Is that the one that I've been seeing a lot of pictures everybody's doing on her
Yeah, it's a free
Facebook group?
pattern
It's beautiful.
What a
It's
shop. Yeah,
beautiful.
so this is the woven star block that I did as a test, and then this is the courthouse steps. So it's like a scrappy project we're doing, and we're just going to throw it all together.
Oh, wow. You know
Yeah.
me, I'm all about stars. I love stars.
Yeah,
I
and
like
it's
them both. Those are great.
yeah, and it's paper pieced. And if you want to get introduced to paper piecing, this is a great way to do it because, like especially this courthouse step, it's all rectangles. They tell you what size to cut out,
Mhm.
and it helps you with your traditional pieced brain not have to figure all this stuff out with the angles and that like with a legit kit. And so if you want to learn, this is a fantastic way to do it because it's super simple and it kind of gets you into the mindset of working on paper. And that's with the, like I was talking earlier, I love the thread cutting function. It comes in so handy. Foundation paper piecing. And this is the same way. Like you just look at the back and it's so simple. Like you just cut out these rectangles or triangles and just sew it all together. So it's super, super easy. Yeah, come over and visit Katie tomorrow morning at 8. And we'll hang out for a little bit and we'll be sewing. I think we got to do the stars. So I'll have to cut out some of that fabric there as well. So there you go.
That'll be fun.
All right. Okay, so Deb says it's going to be Mona, Lisa, herself, and Zaza this afternoon. Okay, perfect. Fallon's asking how's my legit kit coming along. It's slow, but we are making progress. I'm hoping to do some more work on that today. I think we've done well, I've done the first row, and I put it all in this folder. I got that idea from Donna over Handmade by Ying, and then we're working on row number 2. The second, like this section here, the top right, blocks 3 through 7. That's all this one piece of fabric, so that's easy. I can do that in like 20 minutes. And the same thing with this section here. It's all could be pretty easy. So I could probably get a couple blocks done today if I put my set my mind to it. So yeah, and then we'll get into the more difficult stuff.
That's going to be beautiful when you have that done.
It is, and it's got a home. It's got a recipient waiting for it as well. So she knows it's coming. So there you go. All right, but I think with that we better say goodbye because it is time to say goodbye so Martha can go do what she needs to do for the day. I do appreciate you very, very much for coming in and hanging out with us for a while today.
Welcome.
It was really good to
Thank you for the invitation.
Not a problem. And we'll have to have you back again at some point in the near future as well. It's always fun hanging out with my mate Martha.
Yeah.
Thank you all for tuning in. If you haven't hit the like button and you enjoyed the video, please hit it on the way out. It helps me immensely. If you didn't like it, hit the dislike button on the way out. It still helps. Don't everybody hit the dislike button because then I might get in trouble. But if you don't like it, that's fine too. Yeah, definitely check out my friends who are live later on today, or check out the replays. They'll appreciate your patronage as well. I hope you all have a great day. Happy sewing, and I'll see you all tomorrow morning for my podcast. And then over at Katie's tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Happy sewing. We'll see you soon.
Happy sewing. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.